for you, but I just need to ask you one more question, all right? Would you say the Fenders were happily married?
They're polite to each other. Mr. Fender has, how do you say, a separate life.
Margaret, what's happened?
Oh, Mr. Fender.
Mr. Fender, I'm very sorry, sir.
Oh, my God. Alex? How?
We think it was a burglary. The patio doors were broken, and we think he got in that way, and there might have been a struggle. There was a necklace broken. Pearls were scattered around the room. We're going to need you later, sir, to go through her effects, make sure nothing else is missing.
Allison.
Sir, I know this is very difficult, but now is not the time to see her. I'm very sorry, sir, but I'm going to have to ask you some questions, all right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sit down. Were there any problems in your relationship?
Problems? I don't understand your question.
I'm sorry I have to keep asking these questions, sir, but let me put it to you another way. Would you say you had a good marriage?
Yes. We were inseparable.
And, of course, you already said you were out all evening, and there's someone who can verify that.
Yes, yes, yes! For the 100th time.
Sorry, sir, I know this is difficult for you, but let me just ask you one more thing. I really want you to think about this, all right? Is there anyone you can think of who might want to hurt your wife?
No. Everyone loved Allison. She didn't have an enemy in the world. Why would anyone want to do something like that?
Oh, I don't know. So there's been a lot of burglaries in this neighborhood in the last couple of months. But you know, I find this really strange.
What's strange?
If the perpetrator came in through this door, you'd have to come across the garden. You'd think that there'd be some dirt, but there's nothing. Not a speck.
Will that be all, Detective? I've had a very trying day.
Of course, I understand. Don't you worry, we'll catch whoever did this to your wife.
I really appreciate that, Detective. Thank you. I don't need to show you that, do I? Thank you.
I was bluffing with that line about the dirt from the outside, and he knew it. I had nothing on him. I was going to have to look for someone else and close the book on John Fender.
Wolfie. Good night, Wolfie.
John! Don't do it! John! No! John! John, don't do it! No! No! Don't do it!
What do you know? The bird was a stool pigeon.
Could this story really happen? Would a hardened police investigator really put any weight on the squawking of a talking bird? And then again, one of the most highly publicized murder trials of all time presented an argument based upon the mournful wail of an Akita dog. Was our story based on an actual event or simply a clever piece of fiction?
Was this story true or false? We'll tell you at the end of our show. Next, a diner where the special of the day is murder on Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction.
Signs like these are all too common on our streets these days. Does anyone actually ever think of inviting the people who hold these signs to dinner? Well, our next story is about a couple who did just that. You see, they had compassion for the homeless. Of course, one man's compassion is another man's poison.
That's my wife, Lizzie. Most kind-hearted woman in the world. Guess that's why I never told her the truth about our son, Bradley.
Shoo! Horace! Shoo!
I got the letter saying that Bradley was killed in action over 25 years ago. I never showed it to Lizzie. She still thinks he graduated college and then forgot all about his parents. That's what I want her to think. The truth would kill her.
There, that's what it needed. Sorry. Not open. We close at 9 on Sundays. Come back tomorrow. Well, they must be smelling that good roast we've got going. Oh, which I'd better check on.
Besides, we both had something to live for now. Our master plan.
Come on in here. Come on, don't be afraid.
Lizzie looked so happy when I brought the young man in.
Well, well. Who have we tonight?
Easy. This here is Kyle.
Kyle. What a lovely name. Didn't our Bradley have a friend in junior hockey league named Kyle?
He did. Yeah. Only it was a surname, I think, Kyle.
Well, Kyle, I hope you brought your appetite with you because I have been cooking up a storm.
Smells like brisket. Did you make that brisket?
I did indeed.
I expected Lizzie to bring up Bradley. She always did.
Oh, it'll warm him up inside, you see. He's been sleeping under a sofa, thrown out sofa in the alley.
Poor thing. You just make yourself comfortable. Jake will get you warmed up on the outside while I look after those insides.
She's a peach, huh? You know, we've been married 52 years this spring. Well, she did it again.
Ever see something look that nice? That's parsley all around. I don't even do this for the customers.
She doesn't. I'll get the potatoes.
Thank you, sweetie. And the carrots, too, if you could. So, how long has it been since you had a real home-cooked meal, I mean?
It's been a real long time.
Never mind. I didn't mean to embarrass you. I know your life must be very, very hard.
I could tell that Lizzie was going to mention Bradley again, but this time I had to head her off. After all, we had the master plan to carry out.
Our Bradley used to drink milk like it was going out of style. Right up until he... Sorry, dear.
Enjoy, son.
He's dead.
From the looks of him, though, I'd say his number was up long ago. Now, I know you two were just being kind, but you really got to be careful. City's not safe anymore.
All right, officer, we'll try to be more careful.
Good. Now, I'm not trying to scare you, understand? But in a way, you were lucky. Taking in strangers like this could have been one of you ended up in that body bag. Well, we're done here.
Can I get you a cup of coffee?
No, I'm good. Good night.
Good night.
And thanks. You hear that? The officer himself said that Kyle's number was up long ago.
I know. I just hope what we're doing isn't wrong. Taking matters into our own hands. Don't you ever wonder?
Well, of course I do. Then I think of how we're helping him. I mean, remember Annie and Howard? Oh, and Peter with the sores all.
Those sores.
How miserable they were. And how happy they were after.
Sometime later, I brought another young man back. He seemed so hopeless I couldn't wait to relieve him of his misery.
Oh, dear, it's too cold to be without a coat.
Lizzie was so caring. No wonder I loved her so much.
Thanks. I used to have a coat just like this, I think.
He was pathetic, all right. Thank goodness he came into our lives.
He doesn't remember too well.
Poor dear.
I got hit on the head.
He can't even remember his real name. Ever since he got beat up and landed in the hospital.
Oh, my. You must have had a concussion. And the hospital didn't try to find out your identity?
They did, but I didn't stick around.
He says the needles in the IV bothered him.
Our Bradley didn't like needles either. I'll go get the supper.
She's been a little touchy lately. It was his birthday yesterday. Our son. It's been hard on us the way he never came back for a visit since he went off to college 25 years ago.
Something happened to him?
Just life, I guess. How's that dinner coming, sweetie?
Coming right up.
Hold it.
Poor man, what a life he must have had.
Well, if it's any consolation, his pain is finally over.
Dog tags. Vietnam vet. Gillespie Bradley.
I guess that letter from the government was a mistake. Bradley never died in the war.
A cruel twist of fate. How ironic that the young man's mental state never let him think to check his own dog tags. The link to his past was there all along, almost like the keys we spend so much time searching for that turn up right in our own pocket. Does this story of the kind-hearted poisoners contain some morsel of truth? Or do you find it impossible to digest?
Was this story real? We'll find out at the end of our show. Next, a sealed vault and a bizarre rescue that's beyond belief.
Precious stones. They can be an expression of love, or the inspiration for theft, murder, even war. But no wonder the rich and famous have always been attracted to them. Mr. Bromley wasn't rich and famous, but he worshipped those who were, and that's why he loved his job at Grace Jewelers. But before this day is over, Bromley's life will be transformed, and he'll know the true meaning of the word precious.
Looking back, I can't believe what an effete snob I was in those days. The way I fawned over our wealthy customers, my dramatic approach to everything, but I thought that's what they wanted.
Maybe you should consider the sterling sapphire. We have had such luck putting that in the Victorian setting. Oh, excuse me a moment.
I wasn't sure who was at the door, but one look told me she was no wealthy customer.
What can I do for you?
Hi, I'm Amy Faraday. The agency sent me that bookkeeping job.
I'll call Mr. Donovan. Oh, never mind. Here he is. Mr. Donovan, this is the girl from the temp agency, Amy...
Faraday.
Oh, great. Well, there's a ton of work on my desk. Oh, Bromley, will you show Amy where she'll be working? I'm off to meet the ruby dealers. It'll be a couple hours, but you can reach me in the car. See you in the morning.
I loved being in charge. As for that odd woman from the agency, who had time for her?
Thank you.
It was near closing time, and procedure called for me to load and close the vault. But there was still one sale to make that day. It was Mrs. Rivers, a woman who knew how to spend her husband's money.
Hello, Kimberly.
Hi, Mr. Bromley. I hope we didn't keep you waiting.
Of course not, Mrs. Rivers. Let me get the watch. It's exquisite.
Fabulous. Sweetie, you can look, but don't touch, okay? I'll be right over here. Oh, wonderful.
Isn't it?
Oh, you were absolutely right. It's gorgeous.
Price is still hooked onto it.
Oh, boy.
I knew you'd love it. You have such good taste. Oh, look, Pepper. I have a matching necklace coming.
I was so busy stroking Mrs. Rivers and her dog, I had no idea what Kimberly was up to. She used to just stand in one place and cling to her mommy, but she was older now and she liked to explore. I never saw her walk towards the vault, and I certainly never saw her go inside.
Beautiful. Will you just excuse me for one moment?
Okay.
Why did I feel it necessary to close that vault at that moment? But that was me, a stickler for store policy.
See?
I really think that watch is you.
I love it. Kimberly, come take a look at this. Kimberly. Kimberly, where are you? Oh, have you seen my daughter?
I thought I heard her when I...
When you what?
closed the vault.
Kimberly! Oh, Kimberly! Kimberly! Kimberly? Oh my God, she's in there! Open it!
I can't.
What do you mean you can't?
Mr. Donovan is the only one who knows the combination, and he's on the road. I'll call his car.
Kimberly? Kimberly!
He forgot the phone.
Oh. What's happening? Can you open it?
Here's the deal. This is going to take all night to crack this combination.
Problem is, she's not going to last more than an hour without more oxygen.
Can't you use a drill or something?
Even with the best tools, this will still take hours.
Just when everything seemed hopeless, that strange woman from the agency joined our group.
Please, do something! Someone! I can open it.
How?
I can do it. Just let me try. Let her try. Please, save my child.
I thought, who was that woman?
Kimberly? Kimberly, can you hear me? I want you to put your ear and your hands against the door, okay?
I'm afraid. Please get me out.
I know, sweetheart. We're gonna play a little game, okay? I want you to say the first thing that comes into your mind. Okay? Right or left, Kimberly? Right or left?
Right.
Now, say the first number from 1 to 99 that pops into your head, okay? 1 to 99.
32.
Okay, again. Right or left?
Left.
And another number from 1 to 99. What's the number?
87.
Good. Okay. Now we need it again. Right or left?
I feel dizzy. Left.
Come on, sweetheart. Stay with me. We're halfway there. 1 to 99.
I don't know.
Yes, you do know, sweetheart. You know the number. You're the only one who knows. Now, come on. 1 to 99.
63.
Good job. Okay, last time. Right or left?
Right.
Okay. 1 to 99.
1.
There was no click.
No, Kimberly, that's not the number. We have to start again, okay? Right or left? Kimberly? Kimberly? Right 32. Left 87. Left 63. Right 1. No. Left 1.
Oh, Kimberly, sweetheart. Sweetheart, Mommy's here. Doctor's here now. You're going to be okay.
Kimberly was going to be all right. I don't remember ever really praying before that day, but now I do it all the time. I was so lost in my own thoughts, I never saw her leave.
Where's this lady?
Yeah, where is she? She saved my daughter.
She's right here, Amy.
I couldn't imagine who this was, but I'll never forget what she had to say.
Hi, I'm Amy Faraday. The agency sent me about the bookkeeping job.
The true act of heroism. The saving of a human life, yet it seems impossible that our hero defied the odds and came up with the right combination. And then again, don't people win million-dollar lotteries every week using this method of guessing? And why does another woman with the same name show up for the same job at the end? What sort of agency was our hero working for? Is there a more mystical explanation for the opening of the vault? Or is this simply a combination of lies?
The truth about this story will be revealed in our final act. Next, we visit a garden of mystery on Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction.
All gifts come with a price tag. Maud and Jerome Metz have been experiencing episodes of ESP lately. Their visions only occur when they are in the beauty of their rose garden. But these visions are gifts with a price. In this case, it's Maud's very life. A grim reminder that every rose has its thorns. This is the story of Maud and Jerome Metz, a retired couple living in St. Petersburg, Florida. They are miles from their son and daughter-in-law in Minnesota, but they've been seeing a lot of them recently. Every time they step into their rose garden.
This is almost as lovely as yours.
It's beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Thank you, darling.
How about a little wall surround it?
Oh.
Lately, Maud has been having psychic flashes in the garden, but these episodes are always followed by a violent headache and loss of strength.
Oh.
What?
Oh.
What's the matter?
Oh, it's Freddie. He's about to do something foolish.
He's going to mortgage his house. He's going to put everything...
It was like all of Maud's visions. She'd grow weak while Jerome would become agitated with excitement.
We have to stop him, Jerry. We have to stop him. Call him.
Yeah, I'll
call
call
him.
I'll call him.
Jerry, call.
Relax.
I will.
Freddie, don't do it, Freddie. Don't
Slow down,
do it.
Dad. What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about. The business deal.
How do you know about that? Nobody knows. I haven't even told Doris about it.
Your mother and I know all about it. We saw it.
This is a really big deal, Dad. I'm not going to blindly jump into anything. I checked it out, okay? Don't worry. Wait a minute. What do you mean you saw it? What are you talking about?
It's our rose garden, Freddie.
Get some lunch, okay?
Several days later, their daughter-in-law in Minnesota is preparing to feed her baby. A simple, everyday act, the 2 o'clock feeding. What's about to happen cannot be explained easily.
Daddy? Can you come here and watch your little brother, please? Okay.
Hi. Sign here, please.
Daddy?
Oh, it's okay, Ma. It's just a glass.
Well, okay, but stay away from it. Let me clean it up. You okay? Oh, gosh. Oh, listen, if you want, you can go outside and play, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
See you later.
Now stay out of the street. Oh, I know. Oh, yeah. Oh, this glass. Oh, baby. Coming. Jerome! Jerry, come quick! The baby's in danger. There's glass in the baby's food. We've got to call Doris right away. Oh. Now, hello? Dad, I can't hear you. The baby's crying. Dad, I can't hear you. The baby's crying. Hold on just a second, okay?
No, Doris, stop. Don't feed the baby.
Dad, what are you talking about?
There's glass in the baby's food. Dr. Bennett said he will call tomorrow in regards to the test results. I just don't understand why it's happening to you and not to me. Maybe it is an allergy. Don't worry, Mom. Everything will be all right. You're sure, Dr. Bennett? And there's nothing she can take? But these are very special roses. Yeah, all right. I understand. I'll tell her. I'll tell her.
The doctor had told Jerome that Maud's condition was growing rapidly worse. Tests had proven totally inconclusive, and all they knew was that she always became ill around the roses. The doctor's advice? Destroy the garden before the garden destroys Maud. For Jerome, the choice was clear: the magic powers of the roses or the life of the woman he loved.
Hello, Freddie.
Dad, how'd you know it was me?
I just know.
You remember that investment you told me to stay away from? Dad, I can't tell you. You saved my life. I had everything we owned tied up in that investment. We'd have been out on the street. I can't thank you enough. And Dad?
Yeah?
Take special care of that rose garden.
How were Maud and Jerome able to see their children's problems so far away? Well, who hasn't received a phone call from a mother who just had a feeling you were sick and was absolutely right? Or could the answer lie in the roses themselves? Since ancient times, roses have been connected with mystical and religious power. In fact, that's where the Catholic rosary gets its name. What about our story? Is it artificial? Or does it have the smell of reality?
Was this story fact or fiction? We'll find out at the conclusion of tonight's show. Next, a tale of war with a surprise ending that's beyond belief.
In this next story, we'd like you to use your imagination to picture two American soldiers stationed in Australia during the Second World War. They are driving in their Jeep on their way to an anti-aircraft station, and suddenly an enemy air attack is launched. As the bombs fall all around them, they somehow manage to weave their car out of harm's way. And suddenly a low-flying plane drops a huge shell directly onto the hood of their car. It looks like certain death, but somehow they're blown clear of the vehicle just as the shell explodes. A few yards away, they see a roadside ditch and dive into it. And they hunker down and they stay under cover while the bombs continue to go off. After the attack is over, the two soldiers come out of the ditch and they are visibly shaken, but otherwise not hurt. So looking at the wreckage of their Jeep, they agree that it's a miracle that they both weren't killed. And as they inspect further, they find a large piece of shrapnel has lodged in the driver's seat. The soldier who'd been driving stares at the piece of shrapnel in disbelief. It has his father's name printed on it. He later learns the explanation. Years before the war, his father had junked an old Chevy in which he had engraved his name on the cylinder block. And when the car was scrapped, the parts wound up in Japan, a major market for steel and iron parts in those days. When the war started, all the scrap metal in Japan was sent to munitions factories. Well, the parts of his father's car were used to make that bomb that hit the Jeep. A bomb that went off, but somehow refused to take the life of his son. Is this story fictitious or a strange truth? We'll find out at the end of the show. Which of our stories tonight were inspired by actual events? And which were figments of a writer's imagination? Let's find out. Our first story tonight was about a crime of murder that was seen by an unusual eyewitness.
No, John. John, no!
Wolfie. Good night, Wolfie.
Don't do it! No!
Did you guess that this story is true? Well, you guessed incorrectly. This one never happened. And what about the plot of the kindly diner owners whose special of the day was poison?
I just hope what we're doing isn't wrong. Taking matters into our own hands. Don't you ever wonder?
Well, of course I do. Then I think of how we're helping them.
A story like that could have happened? Who knows? We made it up. And then there was the story of the little girl, the locked vault, and the unforgettable way she was rescued.
Please, do something! Someone!
I can open it.
There's no way a story like this could have ever happened, right? Wrong. We took our inspiration from actual events. And what did you think about the rose garden that seemed to hold unexplainable visions? Visions that threatened the very life of the woman who saw them.
Oh.
What?
Oh.
What's the matter?
It's Freddie. He's about to do something foolish.
He's going to mortgage his house. He's going to put everything he has into this business. Freddie doesn't know that it's a bad investment.
Freddie! Don't do it, Freddie. Don't do it!
Dad, what are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about.
Was this a story inspired by actual events? Yes, it was. Now let's look back on the story that I told you this evening. Was it a work of fiction? I'm afraid not. It happened. So, how was your sense of reality tonight? 3 of our stories were inspired by real events, while 2 were put there to deceive you.
Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction will continue.
Join us next time as we cross over from tales of complete fiction to the world of strange truth. Good night.